Surrounded by losers, misfits and boozers, hanging by your fingernails. You made one mistake, you got burned at the stake.
Okay, that's enough.
Do you think as we do this, I'll slowly finish the entire chorus?
Maybe. I hope not. I
What?
think once was fine.
You said I sounded just like Mick Jagger in the last episode.
I was being sarcastic.
If you haven't seen that episode, go back.
I was being sarcastic.
All right, well, great. Righto, we're on season 3 of Slow Horses. In this one, stuff is happening that is interesting and cool and just really awesome. Micah, why don't you give us a synopsis?
Okay, but first, disclaimer, this is going to have spoilers from season 2 and season 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Season 3 is about Catherine Standish, the receptionist. She's really, I feel like, more of like an office manager, right? And receptionist. She gets kidnapped, and it's all very complicated, of course. But long story short, there's this guy kidnaps her and is trying to get information from MI5. And there's a lot going on within that.
Yeah. For personal reasons, basically.
But that's the short version of what this season is about.
And then there's a lot of like Diana Taverner is trying to oust her boss. Diana Taverner is the second chair of MI5. She wants to be the first chair, It's just like in high school band, being the first chair, very prestigious. Right, Micah?
Yeah, not that I know anything about that.
You don't understand that. You don't get that reference.
I never did band.
Yeah, except you did in 5th grade, didn't you?
No.
You didn't?
No.
I thought everybody had to.
Is that when you... No? What do you mean everybody had to? Is that what your parents told you?
No, everybody had to do the recorder, right?
Oh, sure, but that's not band.
You were in a band of recorders. The fucking sound of that.
That's not band. That was just like a music thing, class or something.
Call it what you want, Micah. You were in a band. And not only were you in a band, you were in band. You were a band geek. Sorry to burst your bubble. So this episode, this season, it's good. It's just as good as the others, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's just close up shop.
Dude, you need a shave.
I know. I bet you think because of the beard that I'm really hairy, but I'm not. Shaved. What's that from?
What is that from? Oh, The Other Guy.
Yes, it's from The Other Guys.
Sleep with my wife.
Get back here and make love to my wife.
Yeah.
That girl is Winona from Justified.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I did really enjoy Cartwright breaking into MI5.
That was so fun.
Yeah, that was great. Like, because I just love an excuse to root for Cartwright.
Mm-hmm.
I just want him to succeed, man.
And you kind of do need an excuse, though.
Right.
Sometimes.
Because he does dumb things.
He's an idiot sometimes.
But like the thing about him is I think he's just kind of he does have a knack for some of this stuff sometimes. And then other times he has to sort of be handheld by Lamb. Like, okay, so he basically gets baited into breaking into MI5. Me, I was like, wait a second, this seems maybe not legit.
Him breaking in.
Right, like as he's getting the messages and the whatever to go meet Spider on the bridge and then go get the assignment and then break into MI. I personally, I would have called Lamb, Like, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
I think that this could be horseshit. What do you think? But he also, he didn't have time.
Mm-hmm.
He was on a clock, but also you need to play it out, right? Because their leverage is they have Standish. They're gonna kill Standish if you don't, and then lose all their leverage, and then they won't get anything that they want. Probably not. So come on, River, you should have thought about that.
Yeah.
For just a second, but that's the point. River's impulsive, and he's not seasoned, and he also just doesn't get to work on stuff like this because he's stuck
behind a desk
in Slough House. However, that being said, he's really good at the physical stuff, isn't he? Because he does break his way into MI5.
Mm-hmm. Well, remember when Duffy beats the shit out of him, and he just takes it?
Yeah, He can take a punch, that guy.
Yeah.
Last week, I talked about like some of the very annoying Englishisms that Ho demonstrates that just bother the piss out of me. There's another one, and I don't think this is necessarily English per se, but there's a security guard that has it out for Cartwright because Cartwright headbutted it or hit him with a fire extinguisher in the
Yeah.
first season and knocked him out. So he hates Cartwright. This guy is bald. Not that that matters, but I'm painting you a picture. And he always is chewing gum, but he doesn't keep his mouth closed ever. And not only that, he like exaggerates every chew of his gum. Did you notice this?
Yeah, but have you ever
Where he's
chewed your
like,
gum like that before?
yeah, like very rarely. And then I realize I'm doing it and I'm like, oh, I probably look like a fucking tool. I'm going to stop doing that.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like oddly satisfying.
Okay, but he does it constantly.
Like when you chew hubba bubba bubble gum.
I I don't get the opportunity very often, unfortunately. I just want to slap the gum out of his mouth.
But maybe it's hubba bubba bubble gum. Even though I doubt that they allow hubba bubba bubble gum in the UK.
Yeah, that's probably true. Too much sugar and hubba bubba bubble gum.
And Red 40 or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Anyway, that guy's chewing of gum pissed me right off. I was so sick of it. You like that?
Unless we find out that it was hubba bubba bubble gum, and then it makes sense that he was chewing that way, right?
Sure, fine. You know, I'll give you that. So, long story short, I'm glad that River bashed his head with a fire extinguisher, and then what did he do this time? Did he punch him in the face or headbutt him or something?
Yeah, I think he headbutted him.
Yeah, it's so funny because Cartwright's spinning this yarn about why he's there, and you know the guy doesn't believe him, or maybe kind of believes him, and because Cartwright says, "Oh, I'm here to give a presentation to new recruits on how to not end up in Slough House," and the guy's like, "Okay, let me go with you."
Stop. Nobody wants to hear that in
Well,
their
I
ears.
didn't want to see it.
Well, that was your choice.
Anyways, this is their choice. They can turn it off now. If my
Brayden, I'm
chewing,
cutting this. I don't want to give people the idea to turn this off.
yeah, you're actually not allowed to turn it off. Anyway, he follows Cartwright down, and then he starts getting really suspicious, and he's like, "You don't really. I need to see your visitor's badge." And Cartwright's like fumbling around for it. The guy's like, "You don't have a visitor's badge, do you?" And he's like, "Nope, nope, found it. It's right here." And then he like holds his phone, and the guy like looks, and then Cartwright Cartwright headbutts him, and then starts running.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy's like, "Motherfucker!" Starts chasing him again. It's a good sequence. I like that sequence. Scratch and Sniff get into a spot of, wow. Scratch and Sniff get into a spot of bother, don't they?
Yeah. I don't think I can really go into why I feel this way, but this season especially really just made me feel like this is not a profound thought, but I just feel like everything's corrupt. What do you even like? What's even truth?
But this is fiction, though.
I know.
I'm sure the real world is not like this.
I hope not,
I think it is.
but it probably is.
Like I've been listening to that former CIA guy who blew the
Mhm.
whistle on the torture program in Afghanistan, around Afghanistan, with the Taliban, you know, torturing Taliban agents. And the things that he says, like some of the people that get into power, they're just totally corrupt. Apparently it was a punishable by execution offense to waterboard in the 40s, and then in the 60s someone was caught waterboarding. They got 20 years in a federal prison, US soldier. And then in the 2000s, oh, it's okay. Terrorists, you can do it.
Was that after 9/11?
Yeah. So it's always been illegal, like massively illegal in this country to water. And apparently there is I don't know if this is true or not. Someone told me that waterboarding is not considered torture by the government,
What? Since when?
which I feel like if that's true, it would have had to have come as a result of all the torturing we were doing via waterboarding post 9/11. But even if you want to make the argument that waterboarding is not torture, which A, that's a stupid argument and you're wrong, but B, it's always been, specifically waterboarding has always been heavily punished in this country until The CIA wanted to do it, and then they were allowed to do it. So this is just painting a picture of at least the CIA does not play. It does not play very nice.
My brother told me once that in college, him and his buddies were bored, probably, and he said that they were all trying to waterboard each other.
Yeah, you told me this.
And just for like 1 second, he was like, I was waterboarded for 1 second. I felt like I was going to die.
Ugh.
Could
Yeah.
you imagine?
Awful. Yeah, awful. And they would waterboard people and then bring them back to life and waterboard them more.
That's so sad.
It's awful. Really, really bad. Anyways, I'm sure that MI5 and MI6 to some degree are like that, where they deal in, to put it very generously, morally gray areas. But I don't know. I don't know if they have that track record like the CIA does of doing real spooky shit, like Mossad does of doing real spooky shit.
Yeah.
Maybe Mossad and the CIA are the worst, or maybe everybody's like that. Certainly, as MI5 is portrayed in Slow Horses, MI5 is also somewhat like that.
Yeah. It just always makes me wonder, when you watch stuff like this, how much inspiration are they taking from the real world?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because obviously we're not British. We only know, the stuff that, I don't know. We're not British, and so like we don't know the way that things are run over there, and because obviously, like, being in America, we know that the CIA is not good in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And like I wonder if like in the UK, MI5 is known as not good, or
Yeah.
if this is a poor portrayal. I don't know. It's just interesting to think about.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to make a correction in our first video about Slow Horses when we reviewed season 1. I said that they call it Slough House because they're put in the slough, which is like a ditch, nasty, dirty ditch. That's not why it's called Slough House. It's called Slough House because it's in a suburb of London that's so close to this little city called Slough that it might as well just be in Slough.
So they're just out in the boonies.
Yeah, banished to the shit part of London.
Oh man, their commute must be horrible. No wonder all of them have cars.
Yeah. Yeah, Micah's made that comment. But Micah can't get past this. Every time she sees someone driving a car, she's like, what? How do they have a car?
When gas is over $9 a gallon?
Micah, Henry Ford never, no. You know?
Are you okay?
Listen, the cars never made their way across the pond. They all still drive buggies and horse-drawn carriages.
$9 a gallon, and the congestion zone is what, 15 pound?
A fine
Yeah.
for the day? Or
Every
per
time you
entry?
enter into the congestion zone, it's 15 pound, I think.
Yeah. We drove in London. That's how we know this. And it wasn't fun at all, really.
Well, Braden drove.
It was very
I
strange.
was 1 day shy of being able to rent a car.
Yeah, it was very strange being on the right side, or sorry, the left side. And
Braden would make turns and
and
he'd
it was
go
a big
in.
city. I don't like driving in big cities at the best of times. And I was driving in London on the wrong side of the road. Gross. By the way, it is the wrong side of the road because 90+% of the world drives on the right. What the fuck, England? Get with the program. Why? Why? Anyways, that's like one of the very few things that we as Americans can stand with the rest of the world on because we don't use the metric system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Other stuff too.
Have you seen that joke? I mean, it's not even really. Like bank signs on the side of the road or whatever, they'll tell you the temperature and the time and not their hours or any important information for.
Right, they'll tell you the temperature and the time.
Right. Have you noticed that the bank near
or like a
house?
message about God.
But the billboard near our house that has like the bank information tells you the temperature in Celsius?
Ours does?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not in Fahrenheit?
No, it tells you it in Celsius, which is like the most useless information for us here.
Yeah.
That means absolutely nothing.
Nobody
to me.
knows what that means. Everyone's like, I know that 45 degrees is piss hot. I know that. And apart from that, I don't really have a. I don't. I know 0 degrees is freezing. That I know the ends.
Well, yeah. When have you ever been in 113?
I'm pretty sure it was 45 one day in Bari.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we were on a. Bari is a town in southern Italy, by the way, a city in southern Italy, and we were on a train. We were taking the regional line from, I think it was Santo Spirito back to Bari. 10-minute train ride. And we're in this double decker train. We get to the top deck, and it's just balls fucking hot on this day, with very high humidity because Italy is very humid, probably 90+% humidity. And this little 10-minute train ride ends, and we all get up, and I shit you not, there are puddles of sweat on the seats as we get up. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
So you had swass.
Oh, yeah. I had jungle butt, swamp booty.
Ew.
You didn't like that?
No.
Back to Slow Horses, though. Let's rate this season. I thought the season was great. Really good. Good finale as well.
I think this might have been like the most engaging season
Okay.
for me.
I have a little quibble with the finale, but we'll get to that. Also, this might be the most straightforward season.
That's also what I was going to say.
Yeah. It's really not that complex. Unless, okay, what was Lamb doing the whole time? Because he's not really involved that much in. No, he is.
He was trying to help with Standish.
Yeah, they're all just trying to figure out how to get Standish.
He's kind of just letting everybody do whatever they want.
Right.
And no, he's basically coordinating what everyone's doing. Because everybody keeps calling him and saying, this just happened. And he's like, okay, do such and such because so-and-so is doing this other thing and I'm doing whatever. But I felt like he was just he was the head coach.
He's quarterbacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This season.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of added complexity when you find out why they kidnapped her and what they want. But it's really not that complex. Their motivations are very straightforward. The Slough House operatives' motivations are very straightforward, and it culminates in a climax where you understand exactly why everyone is there and what everyone is doing. The one thing that I would say is a little bit spiderwebby is how Tierney and Taverner fit into this whole equation.
Why?
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
But I'm gonna give this a 9. I'm gonna give it a 9. Got right. Out of 10. Should that just be my new every time we talk about this show?
Maybe.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I think this is probably my favorite season so far. I think it's really engaging. Like Brayden said, I think it's the most straightforward one. I just really like this show.
Yeah, it's great.
I don't tell anybody. I think I love this show.
Yeah, it's definitely not perfect, right?
No.
And there's things that probably are not accurate and not exactly how it would be and how it is in real life, but damn if it's not entertaining.
Yeah.
And damn if it's not written well. And damn if those characters are not great, especially Lamb.
Mm-hmm. So I think I'm going to rate this a 9 also. And I feel bad rating it the same as season 2, but maybe I should rate it a 9.1.
Oh, okay. Give it a 9.1.
Okay. Okay. Twist my arm. I'll give it a 9.1.
I was twisting Micah's arm.
Literally.
Don't tell the cops.
I'll give this a 9.1. Kids.
In America. We're the kids in America. Whoa. We're the kids in America.
Do you know that from the Jonas Brothers?
No. I know that from Jimmy Neutron. Thank you.
No, the kids' height measure on the wall thing.
Okay. All right. All right. Good job.
Thanks, I know English.
All right, spoilers.
Okay, spoilers ahead.
So, Taverner, it turns out that Taverner is sort of behind this entire thing because how is she behind this whole thing?
Okay, let me explain. This is what happened.
Yeah.
Okay? Tierney is desk 1 or first desk.
Yeah.
Okay? She
had someone assassinated in Budapest.
Yes. The boyfriend is named Sean Donovan. He is a part of this group that kidnaps Standish as like a training op.
Yeah.
Right?
They're a private security firm, private operations firm.
Tierney set that whole thing up to make Taverner look bad. Diana. Okay? It turns out Diana Taverner kind of knew that that's what was going on, and she told Sean Donovan, whose former partner was murdered by MI5. She was an MI5 agent, and she was murdered by MI5.
Yeah.
She
Oh, by
told,
by the way, the reason they were in Budapest was they were working at the embassy, I think.
yeah,
I don't know if that's a thing.
Diana told Sean bits and bobs, not bits and bobs, bits and pieces of information that would kind of lead him to find out the truth so that Tierney would get in trouble for
Having someone killed.
having someone killed and covering it up and all of that. It's all really hard to explain, but basically they knew and they're just both trying to get the other one kicked out. And at some point during the season they sit down and they're like, "Isn't it so nice that there's just when has there ever been a woman in first and second desk like this
Yeah.
together?" And it's just women and
And they're just stabbing each other in the back. But then they drop the pretense and
yeah.
they start that was you that did this and this and that and that and yeah, I did let River Cartwright in. I definitely helped him get away with stealing what he needed to steal because I needed him to because I wanted to blah 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 blah. Turns out Taverner and Tierney are the puppet masters of everybody in this
Yeah.
season, and that's where it gets a little bit spiderwebby. But if you kind of ignore that a little bit, everything else is very straightforward, right? Who dies in this one?
Spider.
Yeah, that guy.
But it was still sad, I felt like.
He also exhibits a lot of the Englishisms that just
Yeah, he is a dick.
the
But like I
the
was still kind of sad when he died.
the way that he talks, it just bothers me. Well, isn't this a meet cute? How's that for a meet
Oh, that was
cute?
so
A
cringy.
meet cute in film and
Okay,
television
stop. Anyways,
is
so
is
also
hopefully this is the start of something
okay,
beautiful.
but going back to like people being like government and agencies like being corrupt, at some point, Tierney, right, orders basically Slough House to be killed because they're at this facility where all these old documents are held, and Tierney says, "Get rid of them. They
Yeah.
know too much. This guy, Sean Donovan, knows too much, and if they get a hold of this information, I'm done." You know?
Yep.
And so they send the dogs,
Yep.
Duffy in,
Yep.
and to infiltrate this facility. They kill this sweet boy. He's not a boy. This sweet, quirky dude
Yeah.
for no reason, just because he works there.
And he knows that Tierney was involved
Yes.
in
He
some
knows too
way.
much.
So Duffy kills
So
him.
Duffy kills him in cold blood.
Duffy's dead, right?
Duffy dies.
Okay, good. That guy sucks.
Okay, Braden.
Well, look, I'm not rooting for anyone to die in real life.
Just to get rid of characters that are annoying.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Okay. So Louisa and River end up helping Sean Donovan to try and find this document. This season is so funny because like Standish is being held hostage, ends up befriending her captors.
Right.
She like ends
Helps them.
yeah, she ends up helping them and like ends the night playing Scrabble and like eating snacks
Yeah.
and having tea with like the girl. And like Louisa and River are supposed to help Sean Donovan help this get this document, and they're always supposed to go to a specific area,
Yeah.
and they're in charge and they're posturing for who's in charge the whole time. And so like Louisa's like, well,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that, whatever. And so then they end up helping Sean because they're like, okay, well, I think like you're telling the truth, but like we're still in charge. They're not in charge. And Duffy tries to like beat the shit out of Marcus and like
And
tries to
loses.
stab him.
And then try. Okay, after watching this season, I understand exactly why Marcus is in Slough House.
Yeah.
He's fucking useless.
Oh, why?
Okay, so this is my this is my quibble with the finale of the season because it's a big gunfight and it's intense.
Yeah.
And it's good mostly. It's pretty well choreographed. I won't say amazing, but it's it's good enough. And then Marcus and Shirley decide because they've been fired by Lamb at this point because Scratch and Sniff, and they kind of both suck. But they're like, well, let's go help River because they might die. And then they get there, and Marcus pulls out these two automatic submachine guns out of his trunk. Highly illegal. Even in America, they'd be illegal. And then not only does he have these guns, he has suppressors for both of these guns. So he stole these from MI5 when he was training to be a dog, for sure.
Okay.
That's how he got these. Anyway, and then he does this whole big speech about how he loves the adrenaline of being in a gunfight or whatever.
And then he's kind of shit in the
He is
gunfight.
useless.
Yeah, Shirley does everything.
Shirley kills everyone.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that. I wanted them to give Marcus a few kills, please.
Yeah.
Like they made him look.
Because I liked that Shirley was so useful, but
Yeah,
yeah, they should have. They did him dirty.
yeah. And then when he's fighting Duffy, he beats Duffy, and you don't think that Duffy's gonna play dirty? Like
Well,
what is he here to do right now?
yeah.
If not something very dirty? Of course he has a knife hidden away. You need to finish that guy off before he cheats.
Well, and I guess what's so dumb about like Marcus not doing very well in this gunfight is like there's comments made that like Marcus probably could have taken over Duffy's job. He was so good.
Not from what we see.
Right.
He can't hit anyone. His guns jam. Well, it's not really his fault, I guess, but he can't hit anyone. He can't flank. He can't. And also, when they're in this gunfight, they're like yelling at each other. Like, why don't you just stay really quiet? And maybe they think that you're flanking them, but you're actually not. And then, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like I'm no tactician. I've never been in operations, what work, whatever. Never done anything like that. But I would imagine that you don't want to be constantly yapping and give your position away to the enemy
Yeah, it's
if
a
they
TV
can't see you.
show. That one, I think, yeah, it's a TV show. That's okay.
That was my complaint really about the end of the season. I was sad when Sean Donovan got shot.
Yeah, and he died.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was too bad.
But I think the one that made me the most sad was that quirky dude.
Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah.
Spider's death was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
He just gets punched,
He gets
breaks his
punched
neck.
and he hits his head against a car window and dunzo.
Yeah, it was Sean Donovan.
Yeah, I think it was an accident
He
though.
wasn't trying to kill him, but like Spider was shooting his mouth off and in his little suit and his slicked back hair and trying to intimidate Sean Donovan and like, saying mean words, and Sean's like, "Shut up," and then punches
Yeah.
him and then kills him. So rip Spider.
Well, wasn't that crazy that Rivers' grandpa burned the case file?
I knew he was gonna do that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
still.
What about Lamb's falling out with Standish at the end?
I think it was time.
Yeah. I liked that Lamb was finally fed up with all of Standish's like starry-eyed
Hmm.
shit about
Her former boss.
what was his name?
Person.
Charles Person.
Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah, she just, why don't you marry him, Standish? You love him so much. And then Lamb's like, you know what? Charles Person was a fucking traitor. He was selling secrets the entire time to Russia,
And
and
he,
not even for ideals. I could understand that. I could even maybe a little bit respect that. He's just selling secrets for money. This guy, and the only reason he kept you around is because you were a drunk. Because it takes a drunk to not see how corrupt that guy was. That's why he kept you around. And then Standish gets upset, obviously, because she had this ideal of who this guy was in her mind.
well, yeah, and she keeps thinking MI5 wouldn't do this because persons wouldn't do this.
Yeah.
Charles wouldn't have done this because he was such a great guy. And I can't believe MI5 has turned into this. And I can't work for MI5 that acts this way. But she did.
Yeah, and she didn't realize it. And Lamb, it turns out, is probably, he's not totally honorable, but probably the most honorable out of all those old school spies, and that's Cartwright's grandpa included, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, Taverner got the big job, just like I wanted. Go Taverner. Team Taverner. I'm on the TT.
Okay. You have anything else?
No, I don't think so. God willing, we'll have watched season 4 by next week, but it's not looking promising.
No, I think we're gonna start Halloween movies.
Oh, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, so let us know what you guys want us to watch.
Your favorite movies to watch at Halloween time.
Yeah, or just in the fall. So yeah, we have a list. I don't know what we're gonna watch first. I guess it'll be a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bye.